Yepwelp and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm showing you a portion of the South Platte that's just down the way from the Adams County Fairgrounds. Yepwelp. Speaking of the Adams County Fairgrounds, if you're looking for a place to get out and about and you're up north in Colorado, I would definitely recommend checking it out. There's so much there that they have to offer. There's multiple ponds and fishing lakes. They actually have a Fishing is Fun lake, which is sponsored by the Division of Wildlife. So that's monitored and stocked, so that you always have a good chance of hooking up there. They have a disc golf course, which I do believe is free to use. They have 2 or 3 massive park areas with 20 to 30 gazebo areas providing picnic tables and shade. There's multiple park areas for children, whether it's swing set, playground, volleyball net. They have some horseshoe. The Adams County Museum is located over there. They have a lot of interesting facts on Adams County, how it was founded. It's really just a beautiful area that Adams County provides. That's where they have their fairs at. A lot of Adams County get-togethers. And just right on the next side of Adams County, there's actually the Riverdale Golf Course, which has 2 beautiful 18-hole courses. It's just a lovely area over here. And as if you can't tell, it's not very prospect. So I'll probably be out here all day by myself, enjoying the beautiful quietness. So where I decided to set up here is right on the inside corner. This is a giant S-bend. It's probably one of the biggest gravel bars or flood areas up in Adams County. I feel the reason why it doesn't get prospect very much is due to the fact that it's about a mile walk-in minimum if you want to get to the larger gravel bar. There is a smaller gravel bar that's right next off of one of the pull-offs for the little public lakes up there, but you're not going to have as much luck as here. You can see the river comes down, and if I show you right over here, you can see that entire area is a giant, large cobble bar. I can't really give you the perspective of it standing on the ground, but the entire area I'm currently standing on is a flood zone. And every spring runoff, this area gets flooded, and you're gonna have new fresh gold coming through. Also a lot of debris and larger gravels. As you can see right up here, this is another tier of the flood zone. You can see a few tailings pile. Look like a few people might have worked up over here, but there is a large amount of larger gravel to work in here. And being an inside corner, and the fact there's an outrageous amount of gravel around here, it's going to tell you that the water is going to have a chance to slow down enough for the heavier materials such as the larger gravel or the gold to drop out, giving us a chance to find it. So I'll probably poke around here a bit, find a nice little spot, try to find one that doesn't have a loose stack of gravel. If you can find something that's a little more packed in versus this loose pile, it a little bit more evidence there that the ground hasn't been worked recently, and you might have a better chance of finding some fresh gold there versus working a pile someone already dug. There's a good possibility they already took all the goods out of it. I could show you right down here. As you can see, there's newer plant life growing over this gravel, and this isn't very loose packed. When you dig down into it, it's fairly hard packed, and you can tell someone hasn't had a shovel there or had fresh tailings there. So this is going to be a fresh flood zone from this spring, and good possibility we can find ourselves some gold out here. Besides being completely out of shape, don't let my physique fool you. This wasn't bad at all to carry out here. It's probably about a mile walk from the vehicle. I have 3 5-gallon buckets, my classifier screen, my shovel, my springs, my battery, my PVC stand, my automatic classifier, and a few other miscellaneous things inside that bag. So it worked out real well. We're gonna get her set up, do some testing, see how she works out for us. Alrighty, got this automatic classifier all set up. I've actually already ran through a whole 5-gallon bucket of dirt. It's set up a whole lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. I figured there'd be quite a few little modifications and tweaks out at the field to make it process the dirt properly, but I was real surprised. I'm gonna do a little time-lapse video here for you shortly to show you the exact amount of time it will take to process a 5-gallon bucket. Now this is with dry classification. Today I'm just going to play around with the dry classification on this trip. Few trips here. Later on I'm going to be visiting some very well-known places to go find some amazing gold in Colorado, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and stay tuned for that, because we're going to be testing out some wet classifications and even doing some type of clay and mud type of classifications to see if this auto classifier can eat through that dirt. Alrighty, enough yip yapping here. Let me show you my little setup I got going on, and I will show you how this puppy's working out in the field. So if you notice here, I actually dug down a little bit underneath the bucket to give a little more clearance in between the frame and the classifier and the bucket catching our concentrations. The reason why is because once we weigh down our classifier with a few shovelfuls of dirt, the springs start to take some weight, and that causes the whole tray to go down, which isn't a big deal. You just need to make sure you have enough clearance underneath the tray and the classifier when you have it about as full as you're going to get it when you're classifying, so that way the bucket will not interrupt the vibration action given by the off balance of the fan and the springs. That's just a real minor fix there. Other than that, I really didn't have to tweak anything. One thing I would say is when you're using this, you're gonna wanna leave a rock or two inside your classifier, and that will just give you some stability so that classifier is not bouncing around too much when you're trying to load it up full of shovels full of dirt. And then as you're loading your shovels full of dirt, every few shovels full, just take out some of the bigger rocks, leave in a few of the big ones to give it that little bit of weight to hold down that classifier, so the vibration action can really sift that dirt quickly. And then once I'm finished up getting my 5-gallon buckets classified down, I just got a little setup down here with my Nugget Bucket, and I'm running my concentrates through my Nugget Bucket down right by the river with a little bit of water. And since they're mostly classified and a lot of the larger materials already removed from the automatic classification, the Nugget Bucket is actually eating through the material quite well. I was pretty surprised. The automatic classifier can definitely outwork the Nugget Bucket since you have to manually feed this guy. But I feel even if I had a sluice box, the classifier would still be producing more concentrates than I could feed through a sluice box. So it's a really nice little improvement. Saved me quite a bit of work already today. I got a whole 5-gallon bucket full of concentrates out of her, and I didn't really have to do much manual classification at all, just a little bit through the Nugget Bucket when I was rinsing them down. Now you got a nice 5-gallon bucket full of cons ready to process through your sluice box, your nugget bucket, your gold cube, whatever your preference is or whatever your equipment is that you have. Like I said, it's not a perfect machine, but it definitely helps out through the classification. And it's a whole lot less manual labor than having to manually classify each and every scoopful. Alrighty, we've been out here for a few hours today, having a wonderful time washing some dirt. One of the big parts of today was I wanted to get this automatic classifier out that I built and wanted to get an opportunity to test it out. And I'd say after running 4 or 5-gallon buckets through it, which is a total of 20 gallons of concentrated material, I was pretty happy with the efficiency of which the material was classified. There's a few times when I got a few too many shovelfuls or a few too many large rocks in the classifier, and I just removed those out and continue classifying. Overall, I'm very happy with it. I feel it's done more than what I was expecting it to do. Just as simple to set up as it was at home, which was very nice. And overall, I'm very happy with it. I hope the examples I was able to show you out here for the first time doing some dry classifications, you were able to see it really truly do its job, and you were impressed with it. If you haven't checked out my video previously of me throwing this together, go ahead and check that out. I'll throw a card up above, link to it. Definitely stay tuned. The next few weeks we're going to be doing some camping trips, and I'm going to be going up to some very well-known places to get some gold, and we're going to test this puppy out with some wet classifications and possibly some clay and some mud classifications. So very excited to see what it does after seeing how well it ate through that dirt today. We got our large pile of overburden here, and once the 5-gallon buckets are full, I come down here and classify them through the nugget bucket. And there's my fine tailing pile that came out of the nugget bucket. And the nugget bucket, like I've said previously, it really does a lot better job at processing that material at a better rate when you don't have to classify all the large material through this little tiny classifier. When you feed it with the already classified material from the automatic classifier, it does a much better job of the speed of processing the material. I also believe that since it's already partially classified, it really gives an opportunity for those equally classified sizes of material to really allow the water and the gravity idea to allow the heavies to drop out a lot more efficiently than having it all mixed in with a bunch of different size material. Well, I'm gonna get everything packed up. I'll get my concentrates packed up in the bucket, get them home, get some cleaning done, and we'll show you what kind of beautiful gold we found out here today. Here's the little bit of gold we found. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. On top of that, we got to enjoy a beautiful day out at the Adams County Fairgrounds. More importantly, I was able to test out the automatic classifier I just built, and I was truly amazed by its efficiency of the dry classification it was able to do. A 5-gallon bucket of cons in under 6 minutes with little to no labor for the classification. Can't beat it. I hope to see you out there next time for more field testing with the automatic classifier.